Okay, this video is for the 98 SLK window regulator replacement on 98 SLK 230. This one is starting to just be a little sloppy inside. The window was giving me a little bit of trouble. Turned out to be a problem with the window itself. But I was figuring that the regulator was probably shot, so I ordered a new one. And I was thinking about not replacing it, but now that I've got it apart and I'm looking at it, the track's pretty worn, and you see some of the rivets that hold it in are loose. They actually move when the regulator is moved. There's two small rivets going towards the opening side of the door. There's two small rivets, and then there are four larger diameter rivets that are right where the motor track is at. The motor, if you want to just replace the motor, there's three holes in the sheet metal with some like bronze colored Allen head bolts, two right there and one up there. If you're just going to replace the motor, you can just undo those, and the wiring clip, can't really see it, there's the winding of the motor, and there's a clip on it right there. You could get to it without having to take the whole thing out. But to replace the regulator, you got to drill out those rivets. That'll lower the whole regulator out and replace it. So I'm going to drill out the rivets now and take the regulator out. That was about 5 minutes worth of work. Drilled out all the rivets. There's a total of 5 rivets that hold, excuse me, 6 rivets. 4 large ones around the motor, and 2 that hold the part of the sliding mechanism on the regulator for the pre-facelift SLK 230. This one is a 98. Seems like a lot of people are concerned about dealing with rivets. It literally takes less than 5 minutes. The tools you see there, a drill. I ended up using a sharp 7/32 bit on my drill, and just a pair of good tough wire dikes. That's all you need to drill out a rivet. It just takes a couple of minutes. It's really not a big deal. And then this thing popped right out. I talked about the wiring harness before. There's a 2-wire pigtail that goes on the top side of the motor, and then the thing just pulls out through the bottom. The new one will be here tomorrow. Got it off of Amazon. It's a Dorman replacement. This thing probably isn't in terrible shape, but like I said, I've had the car for about a year, and the track's been a little sloppy. I think maybe one of the teeth, can't really see it in the position it's in right now. I think maybe one of the teeth might have a little nick in it or something, because it does seem to bump as it's going up and down in one particular spot. Maybe the track's got a little dent in it, or it's just starting to get worn and sloppy. But anyway, it was like 45 bucks. Plan on having the car for a little while, so I'll just change them out. So I get the new one in tomorrow. I'll show you how it goes in. So I got my new window regulator in from Amazon. It was I think it was like 46 bucks. It's a Dorman part number 748708, and it comes with the motor, which I wasn't actually expecting. So for 46 bucks, a new regulator and motor. The old one's on top, and new one's obviously on the bottom. Doors all apart, ready to start putting it in. I'm gonna get it put in there. Well, first I'm gonna get it greased up. I've got some silicone grease for it. Get all the tracks and everything, and the gear teeth. Good coat of grease on it, and then I'll get it put in there and then start mounting it. I got the regulator loosely mounted into the door. There's two 3/16 rivets on the back side of the regulator towards the opening part of the door. One there and one there, just below the airbag. That's this arm right here of the regulator. I got those riveted in, pulled it in real tight and against the sheet metal and riveted it. It's pretty solid. Then I swung up the main body of the regulator up, and if you remember when you took it out, there's two locking pins that engage the sheet metal of the door. There's one here that kind of holds the up and down motion of the body, takes some of the load, I guess, off the rivets. And then there's one front to back type here, and those engage right here and right here. And what I did was I got it, the body adjusted in there, slid that one in first, and kind of rotated the body up like that, and then finagled that little tab right there down into the opening and pulled it down kind of hard. It locked itself in there when I did that, and that gets the regulator pretty tight up against the door sheet metal, so that the four rivets that got to get replaced are now up pretty tight against the sheet metal. So now I'm going to get 4 more 3/16 rivets, and I'm going to use the back plate washers on it this time to help make sure that it pulls in real tight and against the black sheet metal of the door, and get those riveted up, and then just attach the electrical connector, and that should be it. Just to reattach the window to the regulator and adjust it all. So let me get that done, I'll be back. Okay, that took about 5 minutes. I wish I could have recorded it for you so you could see, but all I used was 4 of the 3/16 aluminum rivets, and then for the ones on the located near the motor body of the regulator, I also put the back aluminum washers to help make sure it was gonna hold real tight. And then just a little rivet gun. I don't know where, I think I picked it up at an auto parts store years ago. They're like, I don't know, 10 bucks or something. They're not expensive at all. Comes with the tips for different sizes, and the little wrench fits right in the handle for changing out the tips. It's seems like a lot of people for some reason are put off by using rivets, like somehow it's difficult. It's not at all. They're actually pretty damn simple. So there's the 4 that I showed before. 1, 2, 3, 4, and those are the ones that go again right around the motor chassis on the regulator. It's on there, it's really tight. Just gonna hook up the wiring, just that 2-pin slip connector just goes right inside. Kind of hard to do this with one hand. Okay, it's on, snaps in. Make sure the wiring is kind of tucked out of the way, and pop the key in real quick, and success. Everything looks tight. Rivets aren't wiggling at all. Motor sounds good, nice and strong. No squeaking. It's what we want. So now I will slide the window back in the way it came out. Had to take out part of the the door and get it back in. Another comment I wanted to make about the window frame. When I took this out, the front stop tabs, how well you can make them out. There's two. One that's on the outside face of the glass, and one that's on the inside face of the glass, and they glue to the face of the glass. That doesn't go through. It's just glue. That's actually how I got into this problem. Is my window was stuck up too far, and it was causing the window to not go down at all, more than maybe about a half inch, and it was hanging up on the top of the weather strip, and it was actually was hitting right here. It kind of marked it up a little bit. I can probably buff it down a little bit, but it's not going to go away. That stainless steel strip is kind of marred up pretty good, because this was happening for a few days before I was told that there was a problem. So what had happened anyway is the inside tab had come detached. I found it down in the well of the door, and I think what was happening is because this sticks out further and it was gone than the one that's on the outside face, the door had gone up past the stop that you adjust, and so rather than this hitting it to make it stop going up, it went past it, and then you can kind of see there's a little bit of black mark right there. I think that's where it was hitting going down. So it had gone past the stopper and wouldn't allow the window to actually go down. So while you got this thing out, you probably definitely want to clean up your window and make sure these are really solid. I re-glued it, and it is on there pretty good now. I also cleaned up a little bit the slider that goes on the track. I'll put some fresh silicone grease in that, and then clean up the track, because it is an absolute mess. And get that re-greased and start putting everything back together. Okay, it is back together and operational. Just some final adjustments need to be made to the two vertical stops there, and the in and out, which is holding that white track that holds the in and out against the body. I got the top down right now, working in the garage, so I can't really adjust it with the top down. So I'm gonna get body kind of ready to go back together, and then put the top back up and finish adjustment, and then close it all up. So I think I'm just about done here. A couple last things I wanted to point out. I'm sure you saw I had all the weather stripping off to get the window in and out. That makes it 100 times easier, and it basically snaps back in. I see it's off a little bit there. I need to adjust that, but so recommend just taking that out. It pulls right out, and it snaps back in pretty easy. While the window is out too, one of the things you want to absolutely check when you're putting the window back in, this felt / rubber extrusion goes in a track all the way, or most of the way down inside the door. When you take the glass out, it may come out with it. You can't really see it in here, but there's a U-shaped metal track in there. Before you get the window, slide the window back in to mount it to the regulator. Make sure you get that extrusion back in that track, otherwise your window's, it's going to rattle. You're going to hear the glass hitting the metal, and it makes it aggravating. Couple last adjustments. Again, there is an adjustment bolt on the regulator. It's It's a Phillips with looks like probably a 12 mil. That is to do final adjustment on height when the window's down. So make sure you get that. So if you put the window down and it's still sticking up just a little bit, you see like a little crescent moon type shape right here. You want to loosen that up and slide the track, which will get rid of that that little half moon that's sticking up. But mine's already down. It looks good. Like I said, just last adjustments are vertical height, which need to be done with the door apart. This one and this one. And then the in and out can be done with the door closed up, because that's done from one 10mm bolt, which goes into the track right there. So that's it. Putting the rest of the door together. If you've done this, I'm sure you can put the door together. These little snaps, make sure you get new ones. They probably will break when you take it out. They're on Amazon. It is the green ones. That's the part number if you need it. Like I said, they're on Amazon. I think they're like $6 a pack. They're 10 in a pack. I always buy extras and keep a small inventory in case I got to take the door apart, because I have not found anybody that keeps them in stock. So I always keep a small inventory. So if I've got to get in here and look at anything, I've always got spares, because even though these are only about a year old, when I took this one out, it still broke. So if your window's not operating right, do not be afraid of replacing the regulator. It is not a difficult job, and it's relatively inexpensive for a Mercedes. Is surprising. But anyway, this is Dave. Good luck. Subscribe. Give me any comments if you see I did something that you don't agree with, or you have a different way of doing it, or any other ideas on it. As I keep working through the car, I'll be sure to keep posting videos. Thanks. Okay, I've got it all adjusted now. One quick last video here. You see, this is on my car where the stops work out good. So this is the rear one towards the back of the door. It's probably only about 25% of the way up through the slot right there. So it's almost all the way down. And then the one at the front of the door is pretty darn close to the top of the slot. The one for the in and out adjustment is nearly to the inside of the car. There's the outer skin of the door, so you can see it's probably more than 3/4 of the way pushed into the car. So that is kind of pushing the glass outwards a little bit. Shut the door. Shuts real nice. The glass lines up. Looks nice and straight. There's maybe just a tiny gap compared to where it looks like it was seating before. It was seating maybe about 1/8 of an inch in more before. You can see where the glass was hitting before. It was going way too high. It was hitting, this is the back, the stainless steel trim on the top. It's getting underneath the weather strip just when I shut the door, all the way around, real nice. And that's where it was hitting real bad before. You can see how high it was going up. It wasn't even going inside the weather strip. It was hitting on the outside of the door. I'm lucky the window didn't break. So I still got to do just a small adjustment to the outside weather strip. Other than that, everything's tightened up. You can hear there's no strap, no rattling or anything, and the window operates great. Actually, when I put the Vario top up, just holding the top button forward, this window, the new window regulator, probably closed like 25% faster than the passenger side now. So I guess now I'll be swapping out the other side just to try to keep them even. But that's it. Thanks.